All right, the Padres, they get the win over the Chicago White Sox. Josh Hader comes in. Hey, kind of surprised he made himself available tonight when the Padres season is literally over. They are literally not in the playoff race anymore. It was the 7th inning in this game, and that's when the Padres learned that they were officially eliminated. The Miami Marlins, they were able to go into Pittsburgh and get a comeback win. They scored 4 runs late. They win it. Padres season's over. They end up getting the win, though, and they're back to 500. And I believe I saw on social media today that during this game, the Padres, they got their run differential back to plus 100, although that might have been before the White Sox scored a couple runs. So the run differential might not be at plus 100 right now, but it is kind of interesting that, you know, on the night the Padres get eliminated, their run differential gets to plus 100. That just shows, like, how much run differential doesn't matter, especially with this Padres team. Usually that's like a good indicator of how well a team is, but if you've been watching this Padres team all season long, you know that the run differential means nothing because of how inconsistent this Padres team is. They won 11 of 13 games, and I think it's now probably, what, 12 of 14, something like that they have won here. And they still needed so many things to go right. It was just not going to happen. They needed the Cubs to win out, or excuse me, lose out. They needed the Cincinnati Reds to not win a couple games. And I think they were smashing the Cardinals the last time I saw. They needed not just those things to happen, but they also needed the Miami Marlins to lose out. And obviously that didn't happen with the Marlins winning. Like, they needed so much. They needed to win the next 2 games here on Saturday and Sunday. And I know it's the White Sox, but another sweep, like, that's still difficult to do, you know? So it just wasn't going to happen, and the Padres did this to themselves. It's not like they're a team, I don't know, name a team like the Cubs that's just not as talented. I don't think people had super high expectations for the Cubs going into this season, and they barely missed the playoffs or something like that. The Cubs, it seems like they'll make the postseason. It's not a guarantee, but they're in it still. Right, they're still in that race with the Marlins. They're still in it with the Reds, right? I believe the Reds are on the outside looking in. But they're like a less talented roster, and maybe things just don't fall their way. They don't get the results. That's different from this. Like, the Padres, they sucked the entire season. I mean, beginning of the year, okay, they were, what, 15-10? But I think that's what their best record was. They have not been to 500 since May 9th, I think. Around mid-May, beginning of May. That's how long it had been. And they're finally back at 500, but it's too late. They did this to themselves. So, a lot to talk about on the show tonight, mainly talking about Gabe Kapler being fired by the Giants. What could that mean for the Padres and Bob Melvin? But obviously, we'll answer your questions as well. But yeah, Padres, they beat the White Sox. Season is officially done. Officially eliminated. Should have happened a while ago, but I guess give credit to the Padres a little bit for the good baseball that they did play in September. It obviously just didn't mean anything because it was just way too late, you know, did it to themselves.